Okay, this is Aaron again with Exalted Lamb 1, and I have my next video out here for you. I've been, man, getting totally blown away by the stuff the Lord's been giving me. It's pretty mind-blowing, and I want to share that with you. This won't be quite as long, I don't think, as normal, but this is pretty phenomenal. So, we know that not a lot of people know that 5G has been rolling out as far as what it's really doing. So look at this for a second. Look at this 5G. See how the symbol, how it's actually in a cube or it's a hexagon, which is really a cube. If you draw the lines down to the middle, from the top left and right, down to the center to the middle, it's a cube. I mean, it's basically a flat cube, and that is the control of the cube. It's really quite remarkable some of the stuff that's going on with this. So they want complete control over the population, and I believe this is the possibly. It looks like the evidence is showing this is the engine for the CV. And as I've been saying since for a few months, the CV is basically C in the first corona, which means crown, or the crowning virus is what this is saying. For the crowning of the king. And by the way, the first deaths in the United States were in, as they would say, King County in Washington State. Actually, where I grew up. I grew up in King County in Washington State, which is kind of bizarre. But it's King County and the crowning virus. We're talking about the Antichrist here. Is this all coincidence that corona is Latin for crown? I don't think so. And that C is 3 and V is 22, because we're talking about the birth of the Antichrist. This is what I've been talking about for a year and a half. And I'm showing you more evidence of this. And that's what skull and bones really means, I believe. It's the death of many people, bringing in the birth of the Antichrist. Okay, so we're talking about 5G here, okay? Now, what is 5G? I've talked about their numbers in letters. Well, G, of course, is 7. Okay, is it any coincidence that 5G really is 5-7, which is in simple gematria is birth? That's not a coincidence. And I've been talking about birth. This is right in front of our face. And so, in fact, when most people are saying 5G, 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 they have no idea they're saying birth, 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 birth. And that's what the enemy wants us to do. I'm not that I'm, if your heart's in the right place, I don't feel like it's going to, you're saying, you're pushing this the wrong place. I think if your heart's in the wrong place and you're just like the world going in the wrong direction, like the enemy wants to predictively program you to go in his direction, then you're going to say and do these things and have the mind of the world and then give it more power. That's what all these numbers in the letters are about. What gematria is all about. What English was designed to do by the enemy. God designed Hebrew, the language of Hebrew, and the enemy designed the language of English, without a doubt. In fact, there's multiple meanings of multiple things, and people have no idea. Most people have no idea what they're saying and what power it's giving to the enemy daily. So anyway, that is what is going on here. And so, what I want to share with you is some really powerful things about his name being the birth, and some things in his name in not just in normal gematria and Jewish gematria, but also in Hebrew gematria, original ancient Hebrew gematria. So let's get into that. So, for example, if you were to put in Baraka, in Google, in English to Hebrew translator, this is what you get in Hebrew. Okay, and of course, Hebrew is spelled from right to left, not left to right as we spell in English. So it's right to, and in fact, it's kind of crazy because it's exactly backwards. So, like I said, and I've said before, and the Bible says this, I mean, the devil does things backwards, like Aleister Crowley taught in all his books and everything, doing everything. An adept disciple does everything backwards, walks backwards, talks backwards, everything. Who made walking backwards popular? Michael Jackson, the moonwalk. And he followed Lester Crowley. There's many entertainers, musicians and artists, all kinds of stuff that have followed him. He talked about being an adept disciple of Satan and doing everything backwards. So it's just the opposite of God. So it's kind of funny that English would be exactly spelled backwards to Hebrew. So here we go. We have Barak. Okay. Barak is basically, before I get there, actually, I'm going to talk about Baraka. And I've talked about this in previous videos, but it's a movie that came out in 1992 called Baraka. And I'm going to put a link in the description box and you should check it out. Okay, it's a little trailer for it. You can watch the whole movie probably. I think it's on YouTube as well if you want to watch it. But it shows basically what it's basically saying, kind of secretly, is all these different religions and everything are going to come together through Baraka. Okay, which is not a coincidence with what I've been talking about. And see this eclipse here? Well, that has something to do with it as well. But look at it. Baraka came out in 1992, and if you just compress the numbers, 1992, into 1 and 9, which is, I've always said 1 and 9 is really 1, or 10, take away the 0, and then 9, 2 is 11, so you have a 1, 1, 1. And then look at the time of the film, 138, which is 33 plus 8 is 11 as well, so that's 1, 1, 1. And 111 has been code, as I've shared many times, for I believe 311. So it's one. The first one is the third month, which to the elites is really the first month of March. To us, it's the third month. To the the masses. So 111 is really 311 because they look at March as the first month, and that's their code, one of their codes. So it's no coincidence. It shows both in the year it came out and in the running time is 111, as in March 11th. Okay, also 111 being March 11th is also 311, which is 1 plus 1 is 2, so that's 3-2. So I'm talking about Skull and Bones, which is 3-2, March 2nd, and this is my possible code breaking here. We'll see what happens. That 3-2 started this. I've been seeing in all the media, they're pointing to 3-2 and 6-2 being the 62nd day of the year. They're pointing to 311 also, and the 7 and 71 or 17 being the 71st day of the year. And then together 3-2 and 311, also 311 being 3-2 is 3-2-2, if that makes sense. Hopefully that makes sense. I shared this before in my previous videos. If you haven't, check out my part 1 and part 2 of iPad Goat 2 Almost Completely Solved. Okay, that's really important, and I have a lot of numbers I show, and I show how all these things are connected to this day. Now, it may not be this day. They may have all this stuff connected to this day because it's a hidden day that has to do with 3-2 and 3-1-1, which is also 3-2. It may be in May. That's possible. They look at May as the third month, so it may be May 11th. But I'm looking at this possibility right now for a number of reasons, because the CV is growing like crazy. A lot of things are attached to this time, and I just had to put this out. And I've had to put these last few videos out. So I'm just, again, this is my grand guess, or GG, or 7-7, just to be silly about this. But this is my guess. So Baraka is really crazy. You should check it out. And of course, as you know, it's not a coincidence. It's completely related to Barak. And that's what I'm talking about. So the other thing I wanted to mention real quick on the 5G, and the 5G being the basically the engine for the CV, the virus. I'm going to leave a link in the description box for Daniel Cannon's recent video he put out about the evidence with China basically having all their people vaccinated by the beginning of December last year, which is right around that time, and also 5G rolling out in Wuhan and everything. And I think he may have proven what is actually going on and what's the engine to this coronavirus. And it's not really, it could be technically some kind of virus, but it's really motivated possibly by 5G. So check that video out. I have a link in the description box. I highly recommend. He's been doing some great investigative work with the California fires, phenomenal work with this too, and some other things. He does certain subjects, he just has them down, and he really gets to the bottom of it. So I'm going to have that in the description box. And then, as far as Baraka here, this eclipse, the last Boxing Day eclipse that we had was exactly 77 days before 3/11, March 11th. And again, I've said many times that one of the representations of his birth is 7-7. Okay, either 14, which is 7 plus 7, or 77, or 117. Again, one of his numbers is 117, as I've shared in previous videos. 117 is 11 times 7, which is 77. Okay, so this is a massive coincidence? I don't think so. Okay, either it's tied to this as another code, and there's a final day or we're about to hit it here, and this March 2nd going into March 11th. March 11th/12th is going to be these tsunamis I've been talking about. We may even have an attack today, or tonight. But we'll know basically by March 12th in the morning, early in the morning, into March 12th. If tsunamis haven't happened, then I'll know this is not the time, possibly. So just throwing that out there so you're warned and everything. Okay, and then also look down at the bottom here. These 77 days is 2 months and 15 days, which just so happens to be 2, and then 1 plus 5 is 6. Why is that important? Like I've mentioned, backwards 2-6 is 6-2. Okay, there's also a lot in December 26, because December is really the 10th month to them, which is 1-2-6. And that has to do with the birth as well. 1-2-6 is really 3-2-9. I've shared in my previous videos. Also, backwards 1-2-6, as in December 26, as in the 10th month really, or 1-2-6, don't count the 0, is 6-2-1, or 62 times 1, which would be 6-2, which again right down there in the purple is the 62nd day of the year, which is March 2nd. Okay, also just remember, they're really into days of the year, especially when it comes to this guy. So he was born on the 216th day of the year. Stinky B.O. Is who I'm talking about, Baraka. Okay, he was born on the 216th day of the year, and that is, remember, 6 times 6 times 6. And that's just a massive coincidence, and he's not really the AC at all. No, there's no way. I'm just barking up the wrong tree. I have over 400 reasons, and I'm going to show you. I'm getting close to 450 now. I'm going to show you several in this video. Okay, and then so if you look at ancient Gematria in Hebrew, just to show you here, so that Barak, that when I put in Barak in English, went to Hebrew, is Barak. Basically, it's Beat, is the order from right to left. Beat are the characters here. Then Resh, and then Hof. Okay, Beat Resh Hof is Barak. It's weird. It's almost like you blur the 3 together. Barak. I mean, it's almost like there's no A's in there, which is pretty much it's not. So it's Barak. Okay, and then his middle name is actually, so like I've shared before, his name was given to him by the elites that put him together, that cloned him, and put all the stuff together and have everything all match up numerically, gematria, everything, and symbolism, and all of our media and everything, and it's pretty phenomenal. I've seen some stuff lately that it just keeps blowing me away. Everything in our culture has to do with now ultraviolet and pink and unicorns. That's why unicorns have been popping up in rainbows all the time, because he's about to be birthed. I mean, I went into a couple stores, recently with my kids, and all the girl stuff is all rainbows and unicorns. And I mean, and there's a lot I've shared about unicorns. For example, Hurricane Dorian that was around is an exact anagram of unicorn diarrhea. And there's reasons for that. I'm not going to get into that right now, but there's all these things in our culture that have to do, and they're pointing out his birth. And I've pointed out a lot of things, and there's just too many to point out. In fact, let me just say this: my kids just watched this movie called Spies in Disguise. It has Will Smith, and Will Smith he's a type of Barack Obama. He's light skinned black. He's got the ears. Different movies he's done. He's all kinds of types of Stinky BO. It's really crazy. This latest one, I couldn't tell you how many times they showed ultraviolet and glitter and just so many things. His main character that turned into a bird, he had ultraviolet shining on him the whole time, basically. It's really crazy. It's hard to really get into every single thing, but so anyway, Hussein is really Arabic. It's in its origin. It's more Arabic. When Jesus said that I see Satan as lightning falling from heaven or the heights. That was in Luke 10:18. So that easily translates over. That was in original Aramaic Hebrew to Barak u Bama in Hebrew. Okay, but they added Hussein. And I know why they added Hussein, for it to add up exactly numerically and other things, but also because he is the Mahdi or the Mahdi. Okay, however you say it, he's a Mahdi. So Hussein is absolutely important. See, most people who are looking at who the Antichrist is, some people think it's Trump. I mean, that's silly. Some people think it's Macron. Some people think it's Kushner. Some people think it's, I mean, I don't know. Pull a thing out, Harry, Prince Harry, whatever. All these candidates, they have some things, maybe they own 666 Fifth Avenue or whatever building. So what? They're just paying homage to the Antichrist, who actually owns the 666 number, in everything, and so many things. Like I've just shown a couple of examples. He's Mr. 18. In fact, he has 18 letters in his name. Barack Obama, or Barack Hussein Obama, has 18 letters, and that is 6 plus 6 plus 6. Or you could take the 18 letters and divide them by how many names he has, and that's 18. I mean, that's 666. I mean, it's crazy. There's just so many ways that he is that. And, many people that think like Trump is, or whoever, he has to be an Assyrian. He has to be the Mahdi or Mahdi, because they have to accept him as their savior, and that's the 12th Imam, basically. I mean, it's all these things. So in his name being Hussein or Hussein, it depends on how you pronounce it exactly, but the original Arabic is Husan. Okay, and so right there, it comes from Hassan. Okay, and that's really important. That the origin of that, and it be translated correctly, is important. So, example: the people descended from Hazrat Hassan, grandson of the Prophet. So we're talking about descendants of Muhammad. It was going the Mahdi is going to be the descendant of the Prophet Muhammad, and then it shows here that we have his name is Hassan, and his grandson is Hazrat Hussein or Hassan. So the origin of this is Husan, is how you say it, Husan. Okay, so anyway, let's get into the nitty gritty of this. This is mind blowing. I couldn't wait to share this with you guys. This is phenomenal. So I just showed you how we had Beat. Let me go back actually. Right here we have Beat. This is the first letter. If you go from right to left, Beat, Gresh, and Kolf. Okay, and that's 200 plus 100 plus 2. That's 302. And then you could do the same thing with Hussein, and then Obama. So I'm going to show you how this works, and it really works. Okay, this is Barack is 302, Hussein is 251, and then Obama is 113. Now, this blew my mind when I really understood this, and I'm talking about these dates. Do you see these dates I've been talking about? I'm talking about 3-2 and 3-1-1. Do you see these dates anywhere? Give me an opportunity to check this out. But here we go. This is insane. Okay, and this is why I'm saying he is Mr. 322, like the skull and bones, and it represents 2 days that he's going to be born, which is 3-2, possibly March 2nd. I'm saying possibly, and possibly March 11th, which is still 3-2, because 1 and 1 is 2. Okay, so check this out. There's so many things about this I'm going to show you, which is so crazy about this. And these, again, this is Hebrew Gematria. There's also Jewish Gematria. There's English Gematria. This is the ancient Hebrew with the way the letters are numbered. Okay, so look at simply. You take the 0 out. You have 3-2 on March 2nd, right here, above Barack, right? Then we have Obama. Look, simply backwards, 311. So there we have the 3-2. So in 311, 1 and plus 1 is 2. We have 3-2 and 3-2, which is 3-2-2. This is crazy. Okay, wait till you see this. This is insane. Then we have They compress numbers. They'll take a 3-digit number and they'll compress them in different ways. So, for example, if you just take the 2, then you add the 5 and the 1, you get 26. Well, like I showed you earlier, 26 is really 62 backwards. Another way of compressing, of course, the other way of doing it from one letter to one number to 2 numbers is also 2 plus 5 is 7, and then you have 1. And guess what? Well, let me tell you this first. I forgot to. So 62 is the 62nd day of the year, which is March 2nd. That's incredible. That's in Hussein right here. That is incredible. And then again, so let's look at this one. 2 plus 5 is 7, and then we have 1. That's 71. And guess what? Yes, hopefully you guessed it. March 11th is the 71st day of the year. And that's all in this numerology that they've set up. Okay, this is crazy. So it proves itself as far as the days of the year and everything. Now, here we go. Are you ready for this? What happens when you add these numbers together? For Barack Hussein Obama, you get 666. Are you blown away yet? This is crazy. And then the only way you can get March 2nd to be the 62nd day of the year and March 11th to be the 71st day of the year is if it's leap year only. So that's another support that could be the time frame. Man, hopefully this blows you away, because it blew me away when I found this in every which way. So these different numbers support each other in what this is. Okay, now I want to show you this as well. This was someone put, I can't remember their name, sorry. In my last video, they put a link in the description box, said to check this out. It was a ABC News clip. It was like 4 minutes long on March 6th, as you see. What's unique about March 6th in this timeline from March 2nd to March 11th? What's unique about March 6th? Well, March 6th, and how is it related to 666, okay? Or Barack, or Stinky BO, as I like to call him, right? Well, 666 is the 36th triangular number. So there's 36 on one side, 36 on another side, 36 on another side, and all these. So if you think about like a bunch of dots or something, 36 on one side, 36 on the other side, in a triangle, then you fill in with all these dots, and that's the 36th triangular number is 666. Okay, so March 6 is 36, or in a sense 36. But that's not it. That's not all we have. 36 is also 6 times 6. And guess what? March 6 was also the 66th day of the year, which is 6 times 6, which equals 36, and 666 is the 36th triangular number. Okay, so why am I putting this on here? Why is it important with March 6? Well, some of the messaging about Mr. 666 that has to do with his birth in this 4-minute little, clip of news, right? Well, check out this news. Okay, can you see something right away here? So here it is. This is on March 6th. United States, at least 228 cases, 12 deaths. Well, I showed this on my last video, how this exactly matches, or just almost exactly matches, this note that was apparently found after 9/11. Supposedly this guy, Randy Scott, I believe it was, threw out a note, and he was trapped on the 80. This is the note, apparently, with some blood on it, I guess. The 84th floor, and it says West Office and 12 people trapped. Well, again, 84 is 8/4, August 4th, Obama's birthday. And then 12 is 3/2, or the first month and the second day, 3/2, or March 2nd being the first month to the elites. Okay, then see how this matches exactly? Now look at this. You see the cases? 2 plus 2 is 4. So that's 48. And backwards it's 84. And then we have 12. We have 84 and 12. And it's showing his birth. And again, also, what's important to note here is that he is number 3. He is 3. So 8 plus 4 is 12. Or March 12th being the first month, really. March 2nd, I should say. March 2nd. He's 8 plus 4 is 12. 1 plus 2 and 12 is 3. So he is the top of the pyramid. And then when I go from the bottom of the pyramid, like I shared in my last video, the 9 to the top of the pyramid, which is 3. So he's 3 in 12. He's 3 in 84. He's 3 in many things. because that represents godliness or whatever. They believe he is the God-man. Okay, here's another part of that video. Do you see this right now? Do you see this? Do you see what I've been talking about? And by the way, what I've been sharing was COVID, and then the number after it, the number 19, is the number for birth. One of the numbers, if you look up the word birth in Gematria, it's one of the Gematrias. One of the simple Gematrias is 19. Also, another number for birth, or is it born? I think it was birth, or maybe it was born. One of the two is 22. But look, when you put these together, 3 cases and 22, 322. Hopefully you see that. This is phenomenal. I mean, they're showing this, like I said, they've been showing this stuff every single day, and many times they're showing numbers like I've shown many of my videos. They show these numbers and they match the exact day of the year they're showing them as well. Some of the numbers will be, on this day it'll be 36, and that's or 60 or 66 being or 90. Oh, actually, this is what it was for this day. For 3/6 or March 6th, they had all these 99s all over in Gematria with these other numbers like 322 and 19 and 22, and they had a lot of 99s. What's that? That's 66 upside down. And so that's the 66th day of the year. It was March 6th. And they're doing this all the time. I mean, literally, all this signaling. Now, does this add up to exactly his birth? Maybe, but the code is going to be the same for whatever the final days are. The code's going to be all the same. I've pretty much unlocked the code, and the timing, it's just matching the exact days is the key here. Okay, now I want to talk about this. So we have more evidence about who this guy really is, and now people that know that Michelle is really Michael. In fact, one of my 400 evidences, over 400 now, is that he said 3 or 4 times in the public. In speeches and stuff, or on TV, he said, Michael and I. Who would ever, if your wife was named Michelle, who would ever accidentally call your spouse Michael? I mean, and I know for sure by pictures, by FBI experts that have looked at the body frame of Michael or Michelle, and that Michelle is a male. There's a unit down there. There's several things going on. The shoulders, the muscularity. I mean, all these things. Well, we already know that. We know that also he is not heterosexual and all that kind of stuff. So we know many things about this. And now let me talk about his daughters. There's a couple things about his daughters I want to point out. If you don't already know, here's more evidence of who he really is, okay? Who they really are. Okay, so if you don't know about this, his daughters basically exactly look like their friends, okay? And in fact, their daughters this couple is actually the godparents, technically, or they've been called the godparents of their 2 daughters. Okay, here's another. And see how they look like each other? You see how she looks like him and she looks like her? Or, again, the round face, the big forehead for him and her same nose. And I noticed that they don't look like each other at all. Let me talk about this for a second. They don't look like each other. I mean, they don't look like the Obamas at all. And they look like this couple. Who are these people? Well, here's where it all gets interesting. Anita Blanchard and Martin Nesbitt are a married couple who have been close friends with the Obamas going back to their early Chicago days. Martin Nesbitt was the Obama campaign treasurer and close friend, and his wife, Dr. Anita Blanchard, is the woman said to have, quote unquote, delivered the children of Obama. Remember that semantics matter here. So delivered, well, did she physically deliver them? Was she the doctor that did? Well, I think I know, and for sure no. But you compare if these children look like their real parents, I believe, of course, obviously, on the left, or their fake parents on the right. Who do they look more like? You be the judge, but I know the truth. No one can tell me different. It's obvious. It's obvious as the nose on their faces. Okay. I mean, are you kidding me? Now, let me give you something else. this is now talk about, here's another evidence. People have asked me for evidence videos on who the Antichrist is and why Obama is and everything. There's just too many things to get into. I can't spend the time, but I wanted to relate these to his birth and his time frame possibly and all that. But whatever the day is, the codes are all correct. I completely understand the codes. I just don't know the exact day for sure. I know absolutely for sure 100%, because originally, about 8 years ago, the Lord told me that Barack Obama is the Antichrist, and I had no idea that was the case. And he's done that with many, many people. Look it up. I mean, you can see hundreds of people on YouTube and the internet and stuff say that they had no idea, and then the Lord told them, and then they were blown away. Even people that didn't believe, even people that they had dreams about him being the Antichrist, and they didn't even believe in God. I mean, I mean, it's just really nobody like that at all. There's nobody. And then I just started looking at all the evidence, and he has, like I said, I've compiled over 400, I'm almost to 450 reasons why he is the Antichrist without any doubt, and he's about to be born. Okay, and over destruction of the United States, because that's how it's going to be done. Okay, so, and I also want to say that this is them vacationing. So why would he and his family, if these were really his family, vacation with him and his wife? And check this out. Look, he's holding his daughter. And then look at his daughter. She's looking back at them, and that's supposed to be his daughter. She's looking back at them, and this girl looks just like her. Looks like Natasha, or Sasha is what they call her. But her name is Natasha. Okay? She looks just like her, and she's looking back at them. And why are they vacationing with them? Well, because that's their dad, that's their parents. That's one shot. There's many other shots out there to showing you, for example. You know, it's surprising how much this girl looks like this girl, and that's the father of this girl. I mean, are you kidding me? I mean, you know, especially because both Obamas are male. Okay? I mean, that's why they would need this. I mean, it's obvious, okay? The evidence is all there. If you choose not to see it, that's all on you, okay? But you need to know, the ones who need to know, and you need to be warned, because he will be revealed. He will come back. It will happen. I absolutely guarantee that. But I just don't know. I can't guarantee when exactly and exactly how. Okay, so also Malia, one of his older daughter, is an anagram for I am Allah. Again, his middle name is Husan or Hussein. Okay, and Malia is an exact anagram for I'm Allah. Okay, then how could Natasha, his other daughter, which they call her Sasha, is also backwards for Satan, spelled backwards? I mean, are you kidding me? And then, well, even more incredible, when you put them together, it is I am Allah, Satan. So I have a few more, okay? And then, I mean, do people know? Do you guys know, who's watching this? Do you know that when he says yes, we can, that exactly backwards? If you play it exactly backwards, it says thank you, Satan. Thank you, Satan. Is that a massive coincidence as well? Or many, 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 many other things I have talked about in my videos. Many, many, many other things. Nobody comes close. I'm proving it, basically. And here, just wait till you see this next thing. Wow. Okay, so the lottery numbers when he was elected president for the first time. Okay, the next day these came up in the lottery numbers. So the first day he was president-elect, these came up. Now look here. These two numbers for the evening picks. The pick 3 was 666. The pick 4 was 7779. Well, automatically knowing numbers, knowing God's numbers, and then knowing the enemy's numbers, knowing God's numbers from the Bible, knowing how he uses numbers in the Bible, knowing that God talked about 666 being the number of the beast and everything, of course, knowing what 777 is, knowing what 9 is to God, then I knew right away what that meant. So 666, 777, and 9 are a message. What is that message? Well, 666, of course, everybody knows that's the Antichrist, whether you believe in him or not, or know who he is or not. And then 777 is Yahweh, or Yahweh, however you want to say it. And that's spelled in Hebrew, it looks like 777. And that we know numerically, a lot of Christians that know, numerically God is 777 in many ways. And I've shown in my videos how from the Revelation 12 sign that was on September 23rd, 2017, 19, yeah, November 23rd, 2017, exactly to the Golden Gate alignment of 11/9/2019 was exactly 777 days. And so we're looking for the opening of the Golden Gate. And so my last video show that, and I'm hypothesizing about when the Golden Gate might be opening based on these numbers. And then what's 9? 9 is judgment. 9 is finality and judgment in the Bible. It just is. Okay. So let me give you an example. I want to give this idea, you an idea of an example of the possibility of this actually happening. Okay, because people can go, if you know numbers, really know numbers, you know the possibilities or the probabilities. But if you really don't get numbers completely, then I want to give you I've done this a little bit in the past, but I want to nail this for you to understand. You can understand what are the exact chance of this coming up on the day, his first day of being president-elect in Chicago, in the Chicago Tribune. I showed you right from the Chicago Tribune the numbers on the lotto the day he came up, the pick 3 and the pick 4, and how they were exactly in order. This order. Okay, so if you think about a combination lock, and you put all the tumblers on 0, which is right here, okay? And then you can put them all the way to all the possibilities go up to 9999999. And I separated it that way just because that's a way to separate it above in a sense. But if you count 0000 as being 1, and then 99999 as being the very last one, you have exactly 10 million possible combinations. Okay, for that day, just for that day. Okay, that's how it works. That's how probabilities work. Okay, and then that day was, I think it was at the top of my head, November 5th. And so why that day and not any other day? So then you have to take that 10 million times 365 days, as that number would come up any other day of the year. And it just so happened to be that year or that day of that year. So that's another, it's 1 in 365 day possibility of that number as well, because it hit exactly on the day that he became president-elect. Okay, that's very important. Okay, so what does that mean? That is one chance in 3.65 billion that those numbers came up. Those numbers are a clear message, whether you see it or not. It's a clear message, and the message is Antichrist, God's judgment. The Antichrist is God's judgment. That's what it is saying right there. And if whether you believe it or not, it doesn't matter. That's what it's saying. And it's been confirmed for me many times through the Lord and through numbers. So let's keep going here. So let's put this 1 in 3.5 billion chance, which is almost impossible, but it's a pretty huge probability. Okay, let's put that in our back pocket for right now. And then let's look at this. Okay, now what if you were to add 666 plus 777 plus 9, and then what if you were to put in Jewish Gematria, Barack Hussein Obama revealed, because that's actually what this would be doing, because we know that on the day he became president-elect, these numbers were there. So if these numbers are correct, then it is really what I'm saying is correct, the Antichrist, Yahweh's judgment is revealing Barack Obama. So Barack Hussein Obama revealed. What are the chances that in Jewish Gematria, because we're talking about Hebrew, we're talking about Jewish, we're talking about he's the fake Messiah. What are the chances that these two numbers would match exactly? What are the chances? Well, let's just add up. Let's just see if they match exactly. Do they? Yes, they do. Oh, yes, they do. That is impossible. Why is that impossible? Well, because the probabilities are off the charts. Off the charts. What does that mean? Well, let me show you. I'm going to finally show you what exactly the probabilities are. So, just for your visual reference, imagine a tumbler, imagine a combination lock, okay? This is an old one. I couldn't find very many examples of this, but look how each tumbler, there's 7 tumblers there, 7 combinations possible, and in each tumbler, basically, there are 26 positions for 26 letters of the alphabet, of course. So we have 26 positions, okay, on each tumbler. So then what is that? That is 26 times 26 time for each position, because there's 7 of them. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you have 1 in 26 chance of hitting the right. So let's just say I went across and I made my combination R, T, R, V, T, T, Q, and just made them nice and line across this line, just like so you can see it. And then I messed it all up, and then someone had to try to figure it out. Well, we know that there would be 26 possibilities on each tumbler. So it's 26 times 26 times 26 times 26, 7 times, because it's 7 tumblers. So 26 times 26 times 26 times 26 times 26, 7 times is approximately a little over 8 billion, 8 plus billion. So we're talking about just in that tumbler right there, to try to fit the exact one code or one name that I made up, and my name was RT. I made my name RTRVTTQ. So my name is RTRVTTQ. That's my name. Okay, and someone had to try to figure out my name in relevance or to some other subject. So here we go. But let's use each letter in the Barack Hussein Obama revealed. How many is that? Well, that's 26 to the power of 26, which is very interesting, though, because 26 is 13 and 13, and I've been talking about 13 days in his birth, and then 26 is 13, and then guess what? 26 is 62 backwards, which is March 2nd, the 62nd day of the leap year, which is very odd. And then Barack Hussein Obama revealed is 26 characters in each tumbler times 26 to the power of 26, which is that many decimal points. I mean, that many digits, okay? Which is exactly, it's actually technically is 37 digits, but if you want to round it up to with like a 6 with 36 zeros behind it and some change, you're looking at how do I say it? Undecillion. It's an undecillion. So it is a 6 and some change with 36 zeros after it to match Barack Hussein Obama revealed to 666 plus 777 plus 9, which equals 1443. Are you kidding me? So we not only have, first, we have for the 666 plus 77, or 666, 777, 9, and 9 to match when he got elected, and people saying that he's the Antichrist, and that proving it basically on the same exact day. It's 1 in 3.65 billion. In addition to that, for Barack Hussein Obama revealed to completely match that number, 143, oh sorry, it's right, covered it up there, that's crazy, 1443 and 1443. Okay, that's insane. It's off the charts. Again, it's 1 in a unit undecillion. I'm not used to say that. Have any of you ever even heard of that? I'm sure a few of you have. I've never heard of it, actually. I've heard of maybe like 20 some zeros and whatever that was, like a Googleplex and whatever and all that, but I never even heard of this. That's how many zeros we're talking about. That's how many digits we're talking about. So hopefully you get what I'm saying here. And then it just so happens that if you take another way to compress numbers with a 4-digit number, 4 plus 3 is 7, okay, and then 14. So you have 7 and 7, 4 plus 3 would be 7, and then 14. So 14 is 7 plus 7. So in a way, 1443 is 777. Oops. 777. Another way of looking at it is 1443 could also be 14 times 43, which would be 602. And what's 602? Takes 0 away, and we have the 62nd day of the year, which is March 2nd, like I said. I mean, it's weird how these work. It's phenomenal how these work together. And my point is, with all this, this couldn't possibly be organic. It's all planned. The numbers show it's impossible. Stinky BO is the Antichrist. I have over 400, almost 450. I think it's like 437 actual solid, amazing reasons why he's the Antichrist. And nobody is even in the 200s. Nobody. Nobody's, I mean, I don't even know if they're even past 100. But nobody's in the 200s for sure. Nobody. Okay, it's off the chart. So I want you to get that idea, and that we may be in the middle of his birth time, and he's going to be birthed very soon, no matter when it is. Okay, so, and again, we have this match the 62. See that 62 was the first day. We have the 62 there. I mean, we have the 62s back here, and 1443 and 1443 match. I'm sorry, but he's revealed. Whether you see it or not, you've been warned. Or I like to say, you've been served. Okay? Whether you agree with it or not, you'll eventually see it. So I'm just telling you. So thank you for watching this video. Thank you for your prayers. I really need them. All of you that will pray for me and my family. Thank you so much. And again, like I've asked, thankfully, just as the days go by, we're able to just take care of some necessities and stuff. If you're able to give, please give financially if you can. We have a link in the description box. PayPal. This is just what Lord has me doing right now. It's time's almost up. This CV is going crazy. Our economy is, I'll bet you, I'm doing this before I see the numbers for today for March 9th, but I'm sure the stock market's be massively down again or something. It's on the way down. Everything's on the way down. The economies are crashing because of this CV. It's not going to let up. That's my prediction. It's not going to let up. It's going to get worse and worse and worse, and then everything's going to crumble. And at some point, the people who believe in Jesus, who follow him, who know him, are going to be out of here and disappear off the planet. So I thank you for any gifts you can give. I'll have a PayPal link in the description box. If this ends up being a little bit longer, I'm going to need it. But it's getting close. So whatever you can do, if you can share these videos as well, it's phenomenal information to share whenever this time is going to be. Again, this is my grand guess, my best guess right now. So thank you for everything. Any way you can give, pray, share, just you're the best. This is Exalted Lamb 1, over and out.